Hey, you guys, today we are going to talk about circle vocabulary, all the different parts of a circle. Um, so here we go. So let's get into it. First of all, what is a circle? So a circle, a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a given point. So what we're talking about here is, like, for instance, this big red circle here, right? You got a point, right? And then every single, like, let's say this point is 5 centimeters away, right? This point's also 5 centimeters away. And so is this one, and so is that one. Basically, all of those points, and there's an infinite amount of them, right? Every single point that is exactly 5 centimeters away would from this particular point would make that circle, right? Now, this next word, center, center and circle kind of goes hand in hand, right? Center is that point in which, that every point on the circle is a certain distance away, right? So center and circle kind of define each other in a lot of ways. Now the radius, a segment whose endpoints are on a circle. So we get a bunch of examples of radii, I guess you'd say, if you want to do it plural, right? That is a radius. That is a radius, right? Every segment, right? That is from the center of the circle to the any point on the circle, right? And also sometimes this is used as the length of the radius. So let's just say, for example, I'll use that example of 5 centimeters. You might say that the radius is 5 centimeters, right? When you're doing like an area or a circumference problem or something like that. So I kind of use interchangeably the length of the radius and the segment that is the radius. All right, now a chord. A chord is a segment whose endpoints are on a circle. So for instance, this here is a chord because both segments are on the circle. All right, I'll do another one. All right, this one here is a chord because both segments are on a circle. In fact, any segment with its two endpoints on the circle would be what we would call a chord, right? So here, from there to there, also a chord. All of those are chords. And then the diameter is actually a particular chord that happens to be, it also happens to go through the center of the circle. So the longest possible chord you would ever have in a circle is a diameter. It's also true, much like radius, diameter sometimes can be used to say what the length of the diameter is. It is also true that a diameter is always going to be twice the radius, right? Because if you think of it, the distance from the center to the edge of the circle this way is a radius, and from the center to the edge of the circle this way also a radius, right? That's why we know the radius to be half the diameter. The diameter is half the radius. But the technical geometry definition is diameter is a chord that happens to go through the center of the circle, which would make it the longest possible chord in a circle. A secant, a line that intersects a circle in 2 points. So let's say we've got this circle right here that you're looking at, right? A secant is a line that goes through the circle, intersects the circle in 2 points, right? 1, 2, right? Sometimes confused with a chord, but they are different because a chord, it ends at the circle, right? The chord has the endpoints that are on the circle. A secant just keeps on going through, right? So yeah, maybe you could call a secant a chord that just keeps on going through in either direction, right? That is what a secant is. A line that intersects the circle in 2 points. A tangent is a line that intersects the circle in exactly 1 point, right? So for instance, that would be a tangent. Just kind of just nicks the edge of the circle like that, right? A little property of a tangent that you may or may not know is that a tangent and a radius will always make a 90-degree angle. Anyway, that's a little fun fact about the tangent. But what is a tangent? A tangent is a line that intersects the circle in exactly 1 point, right? And that point we call the point of tangency. All right. So that is a tangent. And then concentric circles, right? Not coplanar. I meant concentric. Concentric. Oh, actually, sorry, they are coplanar, right? Concentric circles are coplanar circles that happen to have the same center. So forget what I just did there. Yes, all of these circles, they happen to be on the same plane, right? But they also have that same center. And that is what makes them concentric circles. Good point there. Okay, and now labeling the figures. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a lot going on here, you guys. Probably what I would call, like this here, I'll call that a radius. That's an example of a radius, right? What else we got going on here? Right, we got this here, right? This looks to me like a diameter. Right, what else we got going on here? We got, a chord. That is a chord, right? So right now we're seeing all of our circle terms in action, right? And here we go. Oh, look at that. We got a secant. Secant, right? Because a secant is a line that intersects a circle in 2 points, not to be confused with a tangent, which is a line that only intersects the circle in 1 point. And that point, ladies and gentlemen, as we remember, is called the point of tangency. These two circles here look to me to be concentric circles because they both go through, they both have the same center from what it looks like. So yeah, those are 6 of our circle terms that we just learned in action, right? Here, this is kind of cool. We got a word bank, right? And all of these things, a couple different ideas, a common external tangent. That is something that we have not really talked about, but a common external tangent is a tangent that kind of intersects the circle right outside here. So that red thing, that is our common external tangent, we might call that. Yeah, so that would be what is CH. I don't know if there's BH, excuse me. BH is the common external tangent right there. Common external tangent. All right, let's see what else we got here. Point H, point H, that is right here, that is a point of tangency. Point of tangency. CD, oh wow, what's going on with CD? Oh, I believe that is a common internal tangent, right? Because it's same idea, it intersects the circle, it has its tangent to both circles. In other words, it intersects at 1 point, right? So I'll call this a common internal tangent. While BH, we call that a common external tangent. Okay, what else we got going on? AB, what's that going to be? Oh, AB is just a good old-fashioned radius. That's all that is. Okay, LK, what do we got? Oh, LK, this is what's a little tricky here. LK, the segment, check that out. That is a chord, right? But watch what happens when we just continue that line and we go through forever. Look at that. All right, line LK, that is what we call a secant. Right, so I want to kind of show you that side to side. Right, and now what do we got going on with G? G is just the center of the circle. Right, that's all that is. G is just the center. And then FI to me, right, that looks like a diameter. All right. And folks, that is all she wrote. So what have we done? We have introduced the circle terms. We've seen the circle terms in action, and we've been able to match them up with the diagram. So anyway, I know today is another one of those asynchronous lessons. All right, so all we need you to do is just remember these circle terms, write them all down in your notes, do that exit ticket, submit it to the Google Classroom, and we will see you tomorrow where we will continue to review circles and circle terms and probably solve some problems involving circles. So anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and make sure you take good notes. If you're going to watch this video again, do it and take those notes. All right, you guys, see you tomorrow.